Hi, everybody. Happy new moon in Aquarius. Hi, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome, welcome. Very happy to see you this evening under this beautiful new moon. Oh, yes. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So we are here with our second new moon of this new year, and it's so exciting. I'm glad you're here with me tonight. Welcome in to our Aquarius new moon ceremony. I love an Aquarius new moon because Aquarius energy is so up my alley. I don't have much Aquarius in my chart. Thanks, you guys. It's great to see you. I don't have much Aquarius anywhere, but I love Aquarius people. I love Aquarius energy. My mom and my grandmother, both Aquarian through and through. And part of the gift that I think they gave me was this real appreciation for authenticity, just being who you are. And they always have been. My mom is so authentic, you know what I mean? She wasn't one person to you and then somebody to somebody else. My mom was just who she was, and my grandma was the same way. So under this Aquarius new moon, we're invited to step into a really deep level of authentic expression. And there's other things that go with Aquarius too, right? Anybody have Aquarius moon? Lauren does. Anybody else have an Aquarius moon? So whether you're Aquarius sun, Aquarius moon, or Aquarius rising, tonight's energy is probably going to be pretty strong for you. And the other thing I want to tell you about Aquarian, you got to remember Aquarius is the water bearer. It's the most watery of the air signs. And Aquarians are really committed to humanity. There's a real deep service component. Thanks for following us on TikTok, by the way. That's so exciting. We have a TikTok, Sage Goddess Official, and we need you guys to follow us because we need to get to 1,000 followers so we can go live, and I can't wait to go live on TikTok. So as soon as we're done tonight, please go follow us on TikTok and tell your friends, because I'm getting excited to expand out into this new platform. But anyway, tonight, one of the domains or areas of your life that you may want to consider setting an intention for is this idea of service to the collective. And there's so much on our planet right now, so many places and spaces where your gifts and your talents and your beauty is needed. And so I would love it if you would think tonight about how you might use this next lunar cycle to think about giving back in a way that only you can. And that people often think that philanthropy just means donating money. And it really doesn't. Philanthropy can be your time. Philanthropy can just be the act of being thoughtful. That when you go and get groceries, maybe you get some for your neighbor. I'm starting to get involved in a neighborhood beautification project where I live. There's like a little patch of community land here that really hasn't ever been tended, and it would be so beautiful if there was some paths and some natural sustainable plants there. So I'm getting involved in that, and that's one of my intentions under this Aquarius new moon. So that's the kind of thing. I don't know if that resonates with you. Some people get really excited about serving their community and the collective, and if that's you, then tonight's a great night to set that intention. And it doesn't have to be much. It can be committing to cleaning up where you live. You know what I mean? When you have time, when you go for a walk, taking a bag and teaching your kids to help clean up and keep our environment clean and tidy. Anyway, it's great to see you. Other intentions for tonight. Collaboration and partnership. Maybe it's time for you to start working with someone else in your life. Maybe you've got a certain strength or skill or gift, and if you were to connect or collaborate with someone else that you know and bring those gifts together, what you could bring forward would be really cool. I'm seeing some of my students collaborate with people and starting to do some videos and some interesting things, and it's awesome. It's fun, it's exciting. Sometimes when you do something with somebody, especially if you're just starting, it can really give you a lot of confidence and also make it a little bit more fun and exciting. So that's something to think about too. That's right. So thank you so much for your suggestions too. And then of course, there's always room to set all your other intentions too. But remember, and I know I'm like a broken record about this, but are any of you new? We usually have at least a couple people who are new each time. So maybe for you it's not a broken record, But we only get so many new moons a year, right? So we have to really harness the energy of this opportunity to have a clean slate, to go back to basics, to vision something in the darkness that can come to pass through the next cycle of the moon. And it's about dreaming a new dream tonight. So that could be a new job, a new relationship, or healing your current relationship. There's sky's the limit, but there are certain intentions that are really nicely aspected under Aquarius, so that's why I wanted to mention those two. And welcome if you're new. I'm super glad you found me. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. We're going to be doing more and more on YouTube. I just did a whole series of interviews, and so there's some really juicy content on our YouTube channel right now for free for you, plus about 10 years of full moon rituals and new moon rituals too, so enjoy. And welcome in, and I'm excited for you and your new adventures. Okay, tonight we have some really fun work ahead of us. Tonight, as you know, each new moon this year, I am teaching you or introducing you to or deepening your well of wisdom about a different form of divination. Last month we worked, of course, with the tarot. We used the Thoth deck, but I also was kind of talking to you about the Rider-Waite, which is the deck that I was trained on. And so I think all of us are always partial to the deck that we learned on. Tonight is runes. Tonight we are talking about the runes. And this is a very sacred set of symbols that I'm going to introduce you to tonight. And we're going to cast some runes. And so if you have your tools, I'm going to show you what you're working with. This is the casting mat that we gave you. Then we gave you a set of runes. They came in a little black velvet bag, but I don't know what it is with me. I can't just leave things in their original packaging. I have to take it out and put it in something pretty. Not that the black velvet bag isn't pretty, but me, I'm like, let's put it in a crystal cup. So now I have a crystal cup full of runes. You can cast with your hands. You can cast from a cup. You can cast out your bag. So there's really no, some people will say if you're a purist, you have to cast out of your bag. I'm not a purist about pretty much anything. So you're gonna see tonight I'm kind of freewheeling when it comes to things, although I try to teach you the traditional ways of doing things. So if you have a set of runes, you're in good shape. If you don't have a set of runes, just hang out anyway. We're gonna have some fun. You'll learn a lot, and then you might be inspired after we're done tonight to go and get a set of runes. You might say, wow, you know what? That lady turned me on to runes and now I'm into it. Or you might say, yeah, runes aren't my thing. And so every month we're going to do a different form of divination. On your candles this year, you're getting these charms. These are sterling silver charms. They have gold over them. And then at the end of the year, we're giving you a charm necklace that you'll be able to grab from the shop and then add all your charms to it if you want to wear all 12 of your divination charms, which is pretty cool, right? It's true. And then if you get next month's set of tools, we have 1/3 of the quantity left at sagegoddess.com, so don't forget to get next month's tools too. They're 19% off with code LOVE19, and one person who gets their set before midnight is getting this crazy wand for your divination purposes. So make sure, I'll tell you more about next month's tool, which is, we're learning about the astrological symbols next month and the elements. So every month it's going to be different. And I'm glad you're excited to learn. So we're going to dive right in. I'm going to take the next few minutes to kind of introduce you to the concept of the runes, what are the runes, where they come from, just to give you a high level history. And then we're going to go through each of the symbols briefly, because I have a little bit of interesting information to share with you about it. I happen to have a minor crush on Dr. Jackson Crawford. If you don't know who he is, he's a professor of Proto-Germanic and Norse languages at the University of Colorado Boulder. And I found him when I was starting to research, really wanting to understand the symbols years ago. It's like, I don't know, 3-4 years ago now. And he's got really cool videos on YouTube. So if tonight whets your appetite and you really want to learn more on the actual linguistic side, if you get really passionate about these symbols and what they represent, you might really enjoy him. Isn't he fantastic? I find him so fun to listen to. He's the kind of professor I would have loved in college. So anyway, and he's just a darn cutie pie at the same time, so he's easy on the eyes. So he'll pick up where for sure where we leave off tonight. If you by the way, he has no idea who I am, so I'm not saying I know him. I just think he's smart and cute. I know Nathan said what's so amazing is he speaks it. He actually speaks it. And it's crazy to listen to. Yeah, so Dr. Jackson Crawford, and you can find him all over the place when you start looking into Norse traditions. So I'm going to burn a little sage for us just to clear energy, set the space, and then I'm going to teach you a little bit. And then we're going to do some divination and set some intentions. Sound good to you? Yeah. Yeah, his name is in the feed. People are sharing it and sharing the link and stuff. It's great. I mean, he's just really smart. God, I love smartness, no matter what field it is. I have radical admiration for very intellectual people who are experts in their field, and it honestly doesn't matter what it is. I just have such a love for mastery, and you know, he's a master of what he does. So yeah, he's fantastic. Yeah, so don't worry if you've wanted to learn about the runes but you don't have the kit, just hang out. You don't need the kit to set intentions, and then you'll learn, and if you get into it, you can, you know, get hooked and keep going. So rad, and a lot of you guys have seen him before, so that's cool. I like that. And I love that we appreciate professors, you know what I mean, as wisdom keepers, because they deserve it. These are people who've dedicated their whole life to their area of, you know, unique academic expertise, so I love that we appreciate that. Okay. So the runes are an alphabet. I think most of you know that. Really first discovered and used right around 160 AD. And there have really been three primary alphabets. And the alphabet, the word for the alphabet is Futhark. And Futhark is really a mashup of the first 8 runes in the tradition. So it's a combination of those first 8, the letters from the first 8, and that's what the word Futhark means. So what's interesting about the runes is that there was originally what's called the Elder Futhark, which was the original alphabet, again, going back to 160 or so AD. And then it evolved. After 750, 760 AD, it shifted, and some of the symbols were no longer used, and so it became known then as the Younger Futhark, or Futhark, depending on who you say, but Dr. Crawford says Futhark. Are you Scandinavian? Yeah, so if you're Scandinavian, if you come from any of those, any of the Scandinavian or the Proto-Germanic areas and regions, you're probably feeling pretty connected to the work tonight because this is your lineage, right? And a lot of people don't realize it is an alphabet. The cool thing about the runes, and this is what separates it from the tarot, in my opinion, because people will ask like, oh, so what's the difference? They're all just different methods of divination, but what really makes this one different? The runes aren't just symbols you use for divination. We're going to do one thing with the runes tonight, but that's not all the runes were. The runes were also an alphabet, and the runes were used for high magic, meaning that in the Norse and the Druid tradition, the symbols can be activated and can be used to actually manifest. And so they're very powerful. There are some people who believe in not teaching how to use the runes for magic because it's such potent magic that the fear is it could be used, you know, for the wrong purposes. I mean, anything can be used for the wrong purposes, right? So I'm not, but you know, you have to respect that too. But if you have Viking lineage, this is probably something that you are super keen to learn more about. The Elder Futhark, which is the original complete set of symbols, is the most traditional set used. But one thing I will tell you, and Dr. Crawford talks about this too, there are so many symbols where there's no agreement on what it means. And there are symbols that nobody knows, really. I mean, if they're honest at the end of the day, they're like, well, this is our best guess about what this symbol means. And then there are symbols where you will look up in 3 different places, and they will have 3 different definitions for the same word. So there's a lot of room for interpretation. And so you also have to bear with that too, right? Because it's rather confusing that way. What I've found is over time, you'll get connected to the definitions that are resonating with you, and get as close to the actual, you know, Proto-Germanic roots as you can, and I think that's the most accurate. So yeah, Sharon Westline, you can use it not unlike sigils, right? I mean, and the drawing of the symbols activates them, the placing of the symbols all together in a circle activates them. So it's really believed in Druid magic and other traditions that when you have the whole set in a circle like this, like let's say you had a ring and they were all engraved on the ring, or let's say you had a bracelet and they were all carved or engraved inside, that this activates a healing circle. So it said if you sit inside the circle of runes, you can experience spontaneous healing. There's a lot of different ways that these are used. And then you can invoke certain energies by drawing the runes. Certain runes in combination strengthen each other. Certain runes in other combinations have the opposite effect. So it is literally a lifetime study. And I'm not the foremost expert on it. I've done, quite a bit of study over the years, but I mean, it's endless. It's amazing how a relatively confined, finite number of symbols can have absolutely so many different meanings and uses and ways to activate and incorporate them, isn't it? It just reminds you that symbols are really powerful. One thing I should say too, people have often commented like, it's interesting that all the lines on the runes or that the runes don't have curves, right? They're all sort of like straight, usually straight lines and angles. And the reason is because you have to remember at the time that the runes were being used, especially as an alphabet in a form of communication, it was really expensive to print things, if not downright impossible. So communication had to happen through carving, especially onto wood tools and wood items. So the original runes were really wooden discs, like slices of branches. And some people to this day don't like gemstone runes like we have tonight. They really prefer casting with cut branches, and certain types of wood are considered, preferable for carving runes than others. Think also about cuneiform if you want to also look at that, like some of these other much more ancient language. But again, cuneiform is just this little triangular tool that made these little hatch marks, right? There was no way to print, so everything had to be cut into clay and stone. So those early languages really didn't have the capacity for anything curvy. So it looks very masculine, but that's mostly because there's a utilitarian purpose for that. Now, yes, so Carol's asking, is there supposed to be a blank rune? Yes. Now, this is not, at least by my sources, the blank rune is more associated with the younger Futhark and not the elder Futhark. The elder Futhark really didn't contain what was considered an empty rune. They call it the weird rune and Odin's rune, the empty one. And I actually really love the concept of it, at least the way I've been taught, is that the blank rune, which doesn't have any symbols carved into it, probably won't be able to find one if I'm looking for it, but there is a blank, is an invitation into the void. It's thought to be a place where you leave space for your own wisdom, or where you leave space for Odin to communicate with you. It's a reminder that you can't know everything, that some things are unknowable, which to me is sort of the core essence of magic, right? Like, you can't know it all. No matter how long you live, how many degrees you earn, how many countries you travel to, how many smart people you know, you will never learn it all. And so it's sort of a representation of that too, which is interesting, right? So, so like I said, it's both phonetic, and then it's also a symbol, and it's a activation. It's an energy that you can activate and incorporate into your life. Now, when it comes to casting runes, yeah, I mean, it's true. Catherine's talking about a different casting method, and it's all true. I mean, it's just there were so many different ways of doing it. Some people, though, the one thing that I've heard not to do, some people will grab a few runes and cast them, but they won't cast the whole set. I've always been taught you have to cast the whole set at a time. So, because if you picky-choosy, then you're interfering. So if you go, well, I'm only going to choose from these 3 runes, and I'm only going to cast these 3 runes, it's like, well, what if the wisdom you needed was in the ones that were left in the cup, right? So I like to cast the whole lot of the runes. And then what we did for you on your map for tonight is we gave you numbers to give you a rough order of where to begin reading. So you might want to start reading here and then go here, here, and then go here and here. But the reality is the other way people read is they cast the runes and they read them in the order that they fall, moving from closest to them to farthest from them. So if you cast your runes Another way to read them is just to start reading the rune closest to you. And again, the reason why it gets so complex is that the runes have their own individual meaning, and then they have meanings together. Kind of like Sanskrit. You know, in Sanskrit, every letter has a meaning, and then the words have a meaning that's separate. So, and like hieroglyphs too, where the hieroglyph itself has a meaning, and then the totality of the images tells a different story. So, yeah, you can work with your rune die tonight, 3,000%, Nicole, you're going to be fine. It isn't unlike choosing a tarot card, but I think what I'm trying to suggest to you tonight, and it's just my kind of experience with it, the tarot cards have symbols and meanings, but they don't necessarily, at least in my experience, have the same magical energy, meaning they're not a single symbol that if you draw it, it comes alive. Like literally when you draw these symbols, if you choose to, that energy system comes alive in your field. And so you can activate these things. You can cause weather shifts. You can manifest abundance. And I haven't seen that capacity with tarot cards. I mean, I personally haven't had that experience with it. So that's why it's kind of different to me. But you may not have that experience with it. You know what I mean? You may be like, well, you know, to me it's just another way of throwing or casting or whatever. And that's why I'm doing this year, because I want you to develop your own wisdom traditions. I want you to sort out sort of what your favorite approach is. I'm glad you're excited. I'm excited too. Okay. Let me see if there's anything else that I wanted to tell you about here. No, so let's go through the symbols. I'm going to pull up my other camera. And these are the symbols. I'm going to hold it there, and hopefully you can see as we go through them. So we'll start at the upper left. So that is Fehu, top left. Can everybody see? Fehu actually is the root or the origin of the word fee, F-E-E, like something that you pay. And so that's part of where the money idea comes from for Fehu. Fehu is wealth. It also means cattle, which in those traditions, if you had cattle, you had wealth. So you might go cattle. Urus means cattle. The aurochs was what the cattle were called. And it also can represent the coming of a storm. So this is where sometimes the symbols, I'm sorry if that's blurry for you guys. It looks really clear on my side, but we'll see. Hopefully you can see them. A is in Sweden right now. Am I keeping you up there in Sweden? I'm super grateful that you're there though. And then we have Thurisaz. Thurisaz means giant. It also comes from Thor. That's the root of the word Thursday. Yeah. Ansus. Ansus means the gods. It also is the written word in communication, which, you know, of course they believed came from the gods. And then Rido. Rido means ride. It also means work. And then we go to Kenaz. And Kenaz is an interesting one. Kenaz means fire. It can also mean physical pain. It can mean like a blister or a boil or an irritation to the skin. And this is why I'm telling you, you ask 5 different people, you're going to get 5 different meanings for most of the Elder Futhark. So you kind of have to what I've done is try to just pick one word and align to it, because it makes it a little bit easier to learn them. Gebo is gift. You can see Gebo down there. Wunyo is joy. These are pretty traditional. Agalaz is hail, like storms. It also, hail was common in Scandinavia, and it was disruptive. It could harm crops, and so that was usually a sign of the gods not being happy. Naudis is need. It's actually the origin of the English word need. Oh, did I skip Urus? Oh, no, I did Urus. With aurochs, remember we were talking about the name for the ox? Yeah, Urus is ox or cattle. And so it's all the attributes of cattle: strength, force of will, right? Physical strength. And then we talked about naudis, meaning emergency, and also need. Again, the origin of the English word for need is naudis. Isa means ice. There's really no other interpretation, but ice for the Scandinavians stopped them in their tracks, right? Sometimes. So you have to remember, like, these are the interpretations through the eyes of those folks. Jera is the origin of our English word year, Yera, which evolved, so it's Proto-Germanic. Most of our English language comes from Greek and Latin, as you know, but we've got a lot of Proto-Germanic word origin stories too for our language. And then Peridot, is Peridot on here? Perthro or Peridot is actually means pear or pear tree. But the pear was seen as a symbol of gatherings and connections and family and fellowship, and so that's what Perthro means, or Peridot. Let's see, what's the next one on here? Aywas actually means yew tree. It physically means the tree, but it's also the tree as a point of entry into the earth for journey, which is a sacred part of the Norse traditions. And then we have algaes, which is protection. Reminds me a lot of the sort of the pitchfork, symbol that goes through so many different traditions. It usually represents protection. Also the three worlds, right? Being able to travel safely between the three worlds. Sowilo means sun, and that's the S in the Norse alphabet. Yeah. Let's see. Birkana is birch, and that's the B word. Aywas up there is the word for horse. Horses are thought to be strong and loyal, so therefore Aywas is strong and loyal. Manas is man. That's pretty easy. It also means the collective man, like humanity. Lagus is lake, so that's pretty straightforward too, and then it has all the properties of the lake, right? Being deep, being still. Ingwas was the god of agriculture, right? Freyr, which really doesn't sound like Freyr, but I'm not good at pronouncing it. It's like Freyr. But it also means fertility and peace. And what it really means is a good harvest, too. It's a sign of good things coming from the land. And then Dagaz is day, and Othala or Opala is inherited land. Yeah. So is that helpful, just to kind of go over the symbols? You still will have to, just like Lago, that's exactly right. So sometimes you can see the Proto-Germanic roots in other languages, like Spanish, for example, where Lago means lake. So you're still, even I still look at my cheat sheet every time I pull one, because I don't cast runes every day. I do it sometimes, but not all the time. And so, still good to look at your notes and... I don't think we have Tiwaz in our... Oh, we did skip Tiwaz. Tiwaz is Tyr, the god Tyr, in the Norse pantheon. So Tiwaz is usually justice or victory or a good outcome. I did skip that one. But that's the complete set that's in your set for the tools. So sometimes, again, you will see additional runes on additional sheets, and you'll think, like, what is that? And it's because... some are including some symbols that other traditions or other lineages are not containing, and it can get really confusing. So I try to keep it simple. We try to keep it kind of contained. Yes, they are. I mean, today druids still cast runes, and that's because they really are so steeped in most of those Norse traditions. It's still very much a part of druid practice, and a lot of the druidic runic sets that I've seen are traditionally carved into wood instead of stone, like I said. Super fun, right? Okay, so let's open our circle. We're going to do some divination, and then I'm going to drum while we set our intentions for the next lunar cycle. And I want to thank you for taking the time to be here with us tonight. I love visioning into the darkness with you every month. It's truly one of my favorite things. I like the new moon better than the full moon, as I always say, because I like beginnings. There's something about things starting that gets me really excited. So I like the first date, and that's always what a new moon feels like, as opposed to like you know, the full moon, which is exciting, but it's like 10 years into a marriage. The new moon is like, ooh, what's possible? It's so exciting. So I'm glad you're here. Okay. So roll your shoulders back, call your energy into present time. We're just going to welcome in the guides and the guardians of the four directions to be with us tonight. And just enjoy. This is just for you tonight. This is your time, your space. I have you for the next half hour. And we're going to do some good work. And this work is going to shape your reality for the weeks and months to come. It's really important that we do this. So I want to begin by welcoming in the guides and the guardians of the East tonight. And those are the guides and the guardians who govern the air element. And tonight is an air element new moon, so we're so thankful for that air energy. This is going to invite us into a new cycle of breathing, of communicating, expressing. So guides and guardians of the East, we ask you to come closer tonight, help us breathe life into the new phase of our life. Breathing in optimism, joy, service, compassion. We welcome them into the circle. And to the guides and the guardians of the South, we welcome you in tonight, anchoring the element of fire, helping us to feel strong and passionate, helping us to enjoy the intensity of our life rather than resisting it, helping us to be courageous, curious, playful, not take it all so seriously all the time. And we welcome in the guides and the guardians of the South. And to the guides and the guardians of the West, we welcome you in tonight for emotional healing, renewal energies in the West, and the element of water, prosperity energies in the West. If you've got intentions around prosperity and wealth, these are the guides and the guardians who will anchor the energy for you. And we welcome in those water energies this evening with gratitude. And to the guides and the guardians of the North, we welcome you in for presence, patience, purpose, peace, and protection. Thankful to have the stability of the North. In the North, we remember to slow down, take it easy, not rush. Yeah, off the treadmill, appreciating the cycles of things, letting what comes come and what goes go. We give thanks to the guides and the guardians of the North. And with that, we got a nice circle going here tonight. I'm very happy you're here. Yeah, you know, you might be able to get a transcript from YouTube of tonight. I know I'm giving you all tonight's a lot of like info. So you might be able to, I think there might be a transcription function on YouTube if you want to get the notes. Normally my team takes notes for classes, but tonight Alexis is just here to enjoy. And Hannah too. Aw, thank you, Jessica. That means the world to me. It really does. I'm so glad you guys are here. Okay. So, we are going to play. Gosh, I love playing. I really do. So let's play. I'm going to light my candle. And you are welcome to do the same. I'm going to anoint with my perfume. Your perfume, this one is a good one to keep close by. Yggdrasil, the one thing I didn't tell you about the runes, so let me just tell you this real quickly. Yggdrasil is the tree of the worlds, the tree between the worlds. And that's how the runes were channeled. So Odin went on a vision quest. I mean, this is like Athena's version of it. Odin went on a vision quest. And he was hanging from the tree between the worlds for 9 days. And at the end of that 9 days, he received the runes, he spoke the runes, and he fell out of the tree. Or so goes the runic poem that we all think of as the origin story of these incredible tools. So apparently if you say the runes out loud, you fall out of a tree. I'm not here for that tonight, so I'm telling you they're magic. So I always put a little bit of my third eye for what I know, a little bit of my wrist for what I do, a little bit of my ankles for where I go. And when you anoint there, you cross all the meridian lines. So you're activating the energy in your body. Let's play. I like it. Okay. So I'm going to move my candle over to the other side. I'm actually going to, do you guys know how to do this? It's a really helpful thing just to drippy drippy a little bit of wax and stick it so that your candle doesn't tip over. You probably know that trick, but it's a good one. Okay, so what I like to do is come up with my question. Yggdrasil. So the name of your perfume is the name of the tree. It's spelled, oh, actually, your perfume is Omniscience. Or no, that's this kit. Hold on. This kit's perfume is Yggdrasil. 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 The tree between the worlds. Yeah. They say that he hung upside down, and that's where the hanged man in the tarot comes from. That's actually Odin hanging from Yggdrasil. It's interesting. Okay, so this is perfect new moon exercise. It's good to sit with a question at the new moon, right? And a really great question for tonight is, what do I need to know that I don't know right now? So what do I need to know for the next lunar cycle? And you can put whatever time boundary you want on it, but I'm gonna stay with lunar cycle. Okay, what do I need to know about the next lunar cycle that I don't know right now? And I use my breath. We do that a lot in shamanism because your breath is your life force, and it's a great, I mean, you can heal with your breath, you can calm yourself down with your breath, you can bless your food with your breath. So I use my breath. Some people do all kinds of different things. Some people, I have a friend who takes all of the runes in her non-writing hand and covers them with her writing hand, and then she's got a tradition where she turns it 3 times. So we'll do that, which she believes balances the energy. Okay, so, and then we're going to cast our runes. So I'm going to turn this toward me. And your charm on your candle has Yggdrasil on it. This little charm, did you see that? And all the runes. So you should start wearing that charm as a necklace, because what I'll tell you is that's a healing tool. Again, whenever you have all the charms together in a circle, or all the runes together in a circle, it creates a healing vortex. Okay, so I'm going to sit with my question. I'm going to lay this down flat. Well, some of them came off my mat. So then you would want to decide, do you want to read the ones that came off your mat or not? I'm going to read them in the order they fell, even though they are not on my mat. So let me lay mine out, and then I'm going to tell you what I see. Okay, so this is 1, this is 2. And then if they fall in a line, I usually go from left to right. So I'm going to do that, and that, and that. Okay. There's one that I always confuse for the other one. So what I have in my lineup, what did you get? I have Perthrow, which is fate and chance, friendly gatherings, and fellowship, right? Which I will be so happy if that's actually something that's going to happen for me, because I need that, and you do too. This is Daygaz. This is clarity, revelation, and hope. This is, I just had it. This is Jera. This is good harvest and growth through hard work. This is Ansu's communication, spoken, written word, divination. That's good. I'm working on my book proposal right now, so that's helpful. And then this one, this is the other one I always confuse. Hold on just a second. This is Hagawaz. Disruption, transformation, hail, remember? So those are my 5. Some people say, so you want to make sure you're reading your die or your symbol the correct way, right? So this is why we give you all the symbols, so you can turn yours around. I only read right side up. Just like in tarot, I don't read reversals, but if you do want to read reversals, they kind of work the same way, which is, you know, sort of an alternative definition of that. Sometimes people read it as a more like negative interpretation of that. I'm down for friendly gatherings. It's Nurse Sandy's mom's first heavenly birthday, you guys. I love you, Sandy. Happy birthday to your beautiful mama. Thank you for posting up that picture of her today. I thought it was such a lovely photo of her. And, you know, you look just like her. I was like, look how beautiful her mom is. She looks just like you. Okay, so would anybody like me to cast for you? Yeah, I choose 5. You can choose 6. You can read them all. So you can totally do this in whatever way you want to do it. So would anybody like me to cast for you? Yeah, the blank is the void. So that means you insert your own interpretation, right? So Lisa, I read the ones that are off the mat. I chose to do that. Now you could, though, choose to read the ones that are only, you know, or only read the ones that are on the mat. You guys are so fun. So fun. Okay. Hi, Brielle Napper. Let's do it, girl. If I could, I would read for all of you. It's a blast, isn't it? So, Brielle, is it okay if I do what do you need to know that you don't know right now for the next cycle? I'm going to hold that question for you, okay? So what does Brielle need to know about the next cycle that she doesn't know right now? You can say your name out loud 3 times. I'm sort of saying it in my mind. They still want to come off the mat. Ooh, this one has like black tourmaline in it. The runes are cool. I hope you guys are enjoying them. Okay, I'm going to go through these, Brielle, and then I will tell you what we've got. Super fun. And I want to know what you're getting too in your own readings for yourself. Okay, so we start out with Jera. That's a great place to start. Right, Jera is that harvest, good things coming to you because of hard work and dedication. And then we go to Aywas. That, remember, Aywas means horse. So that's whatever horses are, loyal, strong. It can also mean partnership, romantic partnership, or marriage. And then we have Laguz, depth, the subconscious. Remember, Laguz means lake, and it's never an actual interpretation, so it's all the qualities of the lake. So depth, strength, stillness, beauty, all of that. And then this is Othala, or Othala. This is inheritance, home. It can also mean ancestral magic or ancestral work too. And then the last one you got was Rido, which is work, growth, and present time. So it sounds like lots of blessings coming to you from hard work and a good harvest coming through, which, I mean, that's all good news. Okay, I'd like to throw one more time. You guys down for that? Are you having fun? It's neat, right? There are people who say that you don't have to have any intuition to cast runes. I think it's still about your intuition. I think every form of divination is tapping into your intuition. You know, I think every form of divination does. Okay. So next, I'm going to pull for, or throw for, okay, I'm going to pull or throw for Kiana Sneethin. Kiana says, I don't have runes and would love for you to cast for me, please. So that's kind of fun. I like including you in it. Okay, and it's okay, I assume, that I ask the same question. So what does Kiana need to know for the next cycle that Kiana doesn't know right now? Right? That's a great way to begin. What does Kiana need to know right now for the next lunar cycle that she doesn't know today? Okay, so 1, 2, and then I'm going to go left to right. 3, 4, 5. Okay. Okay, so we start with Aywas. which is inner journey, strength, stability. Remember, it symbolizes the tree. So this is about standing tall like a tree. Kind of helps to think about that too. A lot of the symbols actually relate to what it is. So you can see a little bit of like tree imagery there. And then the next one is Aywas. This is fertility, peace, and plenty. Oh, fertility. The nice thing about not or being too old to have kids now is that I know it's not about that fertility. Maybe it means fertility of good ideas. This is Degas. This is day. So this is clarity, revelation, enlightenment, and hope for you. I like that. And then Gebo, which is the gift. I like that you got that too. That's a good one for right now. And then we have Berkana, which is fertility and growth. Are you trying to get pregnant? Those are all the pregnancy runes. That's why I'm like, I don't know, Kiana, what's going on? I mean, no pressure, but if that's on the menu, that could be interesting for you. Was that fun? So that is rune casting. I know, it's so fun. You know what'd be really cool is to do like a live where we just cast. You know, or I just kind of cast runes for everybody. Just 1, 2, 3. We could even do like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Wouldn't that be fun? I know. I want to set intentions with you because I could literally do that all night. But I do want to have you set your intentions with me. But wouldn't that be fun? Like a rune casting slumber party. I would be into it. I could do it. I'm here for that. You here for that too? Could be so much fun. So I picked my real deep gong drum for tonight to give you kind of a more of a druidic vibe. So I want to invite you to close your eyes if you want. Roll your shoulders back. And so these few minutes here with the drum is to help you drop into a deeper state of consciousness. And I want you to pull up in your mind's eye the most important intention that you're setting tonight. What's the one that really matters to you right now? Is it home? Is it work? Is it prosperity? Is it growth? Is it connection? Is it authenticity? Is it empowerment? Right? It's so funny right now when I'm closing my eyes, I see the runes. It's amazing how they like start to come to life for you, right? And I want you to focus on that dream or that vision or that intention as if it's already happening right now. You're already in that relationship. You already have that new job. You're already experiencing that peace or that joy, that alignment. You're already stepping into your truth. When I was working with my teacher today on this new moon, one of the questions she asked me today, and I'll give it to you too, how do we find joy in chaos, in unpredictability? Where do we look for it? Are you drumming with me? Thank you for that. I'm so glad you're here. And I think we find joy, if we're looking for it. Happiness doesn't come from predictability or from knowing exactly what's going to happen tomorrow, because we never do. Happiness comes from, I think, committing to finding joy, making it a strategic priority for yourself. So maybe that's your intention, right? To find joy. I'm constantly hunting for it. And it's all around me all the time. Right? I love it. Dance to it, sing to it, drum to it. That's Aquarian energy right there. Seriously. And so I want you to do the work right now. I claim, I am, I have, I enjoy, I welcome. Let's do it. Roll call here. I claim joy. I claim freedom and authentic expression. I welcome abundance in all forms, at all times, from all directions. I open myself to new experiences. These are all great Aquarian intentions. I enjoy laughter and lightheartedness, not taking it all so seriously all the time. I enjoy being of service. I'm helpful to others. I claim being a source of inspiration. I bring beauty to the world. Right? Claim it, claim it, claim it, claim it. I have, I enjoy, I am, I embody, I receive, I welcome. That's right. There's no better time, literally. I have, I am, I enjoy, I welcome. Big open arms tonight. I enjoy perfect health. Right? I feel perfect comfort in my skin. Right? Yep, I claim, I have, I am, I reflect, right? I embody. So great spirits, spirit guides, ascended masters, and light beings from all dimensions of awareness, see us as we set these intentions tonight. Set them on angels' wings. And we give thanks for all of these beauties and realities already in motion. All dreams being activated tonight. We're only limited by what we can imagine and perceive. I have, I claim. That's right. And you can do the I ams. I am a healer. I am joyful. I am right? All the things that you want to claim. I'm a dreamer. I'm a manifester. I'm a facilitator. I'm an activator. Woo! I'm a catalyst. Right? You are. You can't help but bring this wherever you go. It becomes the light you shine. And we prepare for blessings already on their way. And together we say, Amen, Aho, and so it is. So good. And you did a beautiful job. Your intentions are absolutely perfectly articulated, beautifully imagined, gorgeously within reach, right? Yeah. And I always say this to you, but A, there's enough to go around for everybody, right? So you should always wish that everybody's intentions come to pass, because the more theirs do, the more yours will. That's really true. And I always say this too, you're here to live this dream that's in your heart. Even if it doesn't seem realistic, or, you know, whatever it is that people think, the more you can live into that dream. And I always tell you this story too. I think I would have always have loved to do what I do now, but I did a lot of things because I thought I should do them as opposed to what I wanted to do. And what really turned the page for me was a health crisis, 11 years ago. And it shouldn't take that. Don't let it take that for you. It shouldn't take a health challenge to get you to go, am I really doing what I love? Because a health challenge will make you all sorts of brave. I mean, all of a sudden I was like, screw it, I'm going to do what I want to do. But it shouldn't take that. You know what I mean? Start to ask yourself, what is it that I really want to be doing? Because our world is changing right now, you guys, in some of the most beautiful and also the most crazy ways. But the real, I think, gift of this time is we're learning that we don't have to do things the same old way. We don't have to do education the same way. We don't have to do meetings the same way. We don't have to do business the same way. We don't have to do anything the same way. So there's all kinds of space for a paradigm shift and for us to really reimagine what life can look like. And so let's break the chains a little bit. You know what I mean? And for you, it needs to start with you on your level and in your life about what needs to be rearranged. But man, if something's not working for you, seriously, if there's ever been a time for that, now's the time. The chair behind me is a harp. If you were here, I'd sit you on that thing. So the whole back, when you lay back, on the other side of that is a harp, and when I strum it, your whole body vibrates. And then it has stones for your chakras. That is a very intense experience, that chair. It used to be in our classroom at Sage Goddess, but I haven't brought it back yet because we're not open right now. Anyway, yes, I did used to have blonde hair when I got married, like platinum blonde. I sure did. My hair's been every color, but my mom is an Aquarius and she's a hairdresser, so I blame her. She did crazy shit with her hair. So my hair's been every color of the rainbow. I like what it is now, which is a lot better than what it actually is naturally, which is white. I am gray. Yeah, this is a chair from Louis Krieg. You can actually get the chair from him if you want one. He's got an incredible store in Glastonbury, England. So his shop is called Stone Age, and he does sell those chairs. So if you ever would like to get one for your space, you can. He's an adorable, beautiful, magical soul in my life. Okay. Well, can you believe that that's our hour? It goes by so fast. Drives me crazy. I always want it to last longer. I'm glad you guys like to see that. Okay, so I'm going to extinguish my candle. You are welcome to do the same. And we're going to talk about candles a lot, actually. One of our forms of divination this year at an upcoming new moon is candle magic. So when you extinguish your candle, it's I deliberately don't have the air on in here so that I don't modify the pathway, but you want to look and see what direction your smoke is moving. So mine is going north, that's west, so northeast. And so then you want to think about the elements, right? Those are usually the elements that you need to work with in this next cycle. So direction of north is going to be your earth element, and east is going to be your air element. So those are going to be my two working elements for this next cycle. Which of course makes sense because my chart is mostly fire. So it's the universe is trying to balance me out. Good luck. Good luck, universe. Others have tried. Balance is not my strength. I'm working on it. I think maybe that'll be the work I do in my 50s. Didn't it go fast? I know. All right, so let's thank and release the guides and the guardians of the four directions. So we'll start where we ended. So we want to thank and release the guides and the guardians of the north. Thank you for anchoring us, holding us steady during our ceremony tonight, helping us to stay steady, strong, and really appreciating the support in the north that we receive. And we release you with gratitude, thanking and releasing the guides and the guardians of the west, that water element energy. Thank you for bringing in energies tonight to support our intentions for healing and prosperity, which are the intentions aligned to the west. We thank and release the guides and guardians of the west. And to the guides and guardians of the south, it's fire element. We thank them for passion, desire, curiosity, excitement, enthusiasm, all the things. And also transformation in the south, which the new moon is always about what needs to change. Tonight is the night you release, If you're going to set your luggage down, tonight's the night. We don't do that at the full moon, right? The full moon is about gathering up and expanding out. The new moon is about contracting and retracting and releasing and allowing and surrendering. So if you've got something that you got to shake it off, tonight's the night to do that. And in the south, where we have that fire energy and energies of transformation, we have that really a great energy stream there to work with to help us to release and surrender what isn't working too. So we give thanks and release the south. And then finally, we give thanks and release the guides and guardians of the east, element of air. Thank you for bringing energies of clarity and spaciousness tonight. Thank you for this Aquarian energy that reminds us to always give back to the collective and to be thinking about how we can be of service. Service is the antidote to sadness. Every time people tell me they're depressed, the first thing I say is stop thinking about yourself and go help someone. I mean, it's amazing what happens how much less sad you are when you turn around and ask someone else, is there something I can do to help you? And this Aquarian new moon is such an invitation. If you've been feeling depressed and discouraged, get into a space of service and see there's always somebody who could use what you have to give, no matter where you are. Even if you can't leave your home, there are ways to be of service. So let's look for that this cycle as well. We give thanks and release the guides and guardians of the east. And with that, this new moon ceremony is complete, but your new moon is just beginning. So I hope you're going to take some time to write your intentions and to be in this space. The new moon is kind of like the blank rune, right? It's Odin's rune. It's the weird rune. It's the space. It's the liminal space. It's the you don't know. And like I said, that excites me because I like possibility. I like blue skies. I like open spaces, So I breathe all kinds of fire into those spaces and get super excited about it. And I hope you feel that energy tonight too. Whoop, whoop. Okay, so what do you need to do? If you would like to have the tools for next month's ceremony, they are 2/3 gone. So we have 1/3 of them left at sagegoddess.com. This is going to be so much fun next month, you guys, and your code is LOVE19. We are studying the zodiac symbols, what they call the glyphs. And your tool for next month's new moon is this quartz die. It's a dodecahedron that we had engraved, though that guy means 12 in Greek, right? So that's why it's called a dodecahedron. And there are 12 glyphs because there's 12 astrological symbols, and so those are all on the die. So what we're going to do is we're going to cast this next month, and then the symbol that comes up, we're going to read both the sign and the element. So I'm going to teach you all the astrological glyphs, all of the elements next month, and then we're going to cast this and get some good information from the symbols. So you get that, you get your candle with your charm, you get your mat, and you get your perfume, which is called Omniscience. And so that's your kit. And if you get your kit before midnight, one person is going to have this incredible $800 double terminated sterling silver wand slipped into your package. And we'll let you know who wins that tomorrow. It is a wand and a half. So good luck. Your code is LOVE19 for 19% off. And then please go follow us on TikTok. We are at Sage Goddess Official. And as soon as we get to 1,000 people over there, we get to go live. And I'm going to be doing all kinds of fun things and giveaways. And Zoe's going to join me over there because that's her platform of choice. So she's going to help me. And then please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel too, so we can keep you up to date on everything we're doing. And thank you for being here tonight. We just love you. We really do. You're so welcome. And if you got your kit already, you're all set. I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow. So I'll be live. I'm live, by the way, if you want to hang out with me. I'm live every single day, 7 days a week, between 12 and 2 p.m. Pacific time on our main Facebook page, facebook.com/sagegoddess. So I would love to see you. Come hang out. I do weird things. Tomorrow I'm doing giveaways. I have my little magic tray of stones, and if you guess it correctly, I think I've got 8 of them. If you guess it correctly, you get it. I mail it to you. So that's going to be fun. We're going to play tomorrow. I think I'm going to get your goat tomorrow. I think I've chosen some stones you won't know. I am on a mission to stump you. And a lot of you are really knowledgeable, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it, but I'm on a mission. So we'll see if I can keep you on your toes. Sweet dreams. Happy new moon. It's great to be with you tonight. I'll see you soon. And thank you, Team SG, as always, for being there too.